How's it going, my truant people? DrSlaking, the Slacking Doctor, back with week 3 of the UBL, I believe, with the team builder for your Bowland Bovines, taking on GarchompTheGod and his Lawrence Talonflames, I want to say. Now, I should say at the beginning of this and as well at the battle, that I believe Austin has dropped leagues and deleted his YouTube channel. Pretty sure. So I don't think his side of this battle will be up. Unfortunately, which is really, really sad. I think we were his last battle in the UBL before he deleted his channel and dropped his stuff for personal reasons, whatever. I'm not going to go into all that side of things. But he's someone that I've battled before, really, really nice guy, so I was looking forward to battling him again. And if we were to be his final battle in the UBL, then, you know, hopefully he was enjoying it. Hopefully it was a good one for him to do before he left. However, now that that's out of the way, thank you to my front office for helping me build as ever. The mocks for this game, I can't remember who helped me mock specifically. This game was a couple of weeks ago now, but I'm sure they know who they are, and my front office know I appreciate them endlessly anyway, so shout out to all of them. Moving on, let's look at my opponent's team, because I'm going to try and keep this a lot quicker than I did last week. So, number 1. Let's talk about my opponent's team here. He has the Kieran Black, the ZeraOra, the Snorlax, the Chandelure, the Gardevoir, the GoldoaDragon, the Seismitoad, the Virizion, the Avalugg, and the Skuntank. This is going to be live edited just to save time on rendering and everything else. Hopefully you guys are okay with that. Maybe if you're watching this and you have any opinion any which way, or just if you're watching this, let me know down below, because I don't really know how team builders are going to be received on the channel. The first one did surprisingly well, so if you are watching this, let me know, and if you have any feedback, please always give it, because I just want to improve. I want to make things better for the truant people, for the Bowland Bovines. So, my opponent's team, looking at it straight up, I thought that I could pretty safely sweep with a Dragon Dance Salamence. I looked at it, I was like, yeah, I think I can sweep with the Dragon Dance Salamence. Pretty sure Aquarius helped me refine this set exactly in the end, between the Z move and stuff that I decided to run. So this is the Salamence that we decided to bring. Emiliano is here with Dragon Claw, Fire Fang, Dragon Dance, and Roost. And I talk about that that Z move as we have the Fire Z. Basically, I think I was running like Earthquake and Dragonium or Groundium. I think I was running Groundium and Earthquake before, so that I could hit things like the Chandelure, like the Gardevoir, and like the Mega Scissor. Why is Mega Scissor not appearing on the layout? I apologize that Mega Scissor isn't on the team on the left-hand side. I don't know how that's got cut off somewhere on the graphics, but he also has a Mega Scissor. I should explain that. I don't know why he's Mega cut off. That's super weird. But regardless, so the Z Fire Fang there will bop the Mega Scissor. It'll also help bop the GoldoaDragon, and it will also help bop the Gardevoir. So in theory, we should be fine. This is a Moxie set, so the Gardevoir can't come in and intimidate me with Trace. And in theory, once we got a Dragon Dance up, we outspeed the Gardevoir. We outspeed Scarf Chandelure. He doesn't really have any good Scarfers that can outspeed me. Scarf Kieran Black can't outspeed me. The only thing that could be scarfed and outspeed potentially would be like the Virizion. But Virizion isn't necessarily the best revenge killer. It would have to try and land a Stone Edge or something like that. We are really, really bulky, so that we can take like bullet punches from the Mega Scissor as well. In fact, I could potentially set up on the Mega Scissor depending on how much investment it has. If it's a fully defensive Mega Scissor, then I can set up on it. So yeah, I think Emiliano can absolutely go in this game as long as I position it correctly and just chip things down like the Scissor, the GoldoaDragon, a couple of other things. If I chip those down, this set just goes in. So, number 2, how are we going to support that with the team? Well, we have Wukong here, and Fernape is back with Flare Blitz, Close Combat, Earthquake, U-Turn with the Expert Belt. We can basically just get like an Expert Belt CC off on Snorlax, which is going to drop it. Expert Belt CC off on Kieran, which is going to drop it. Expert Belt Earthquake on ZeraOra, which is going to drop it. Flare Blitz on Virizion. So on and so forth. We hit the most of the team pretty nicely. The 2 switch-ins look likely to be between Chandelure, Seismitoad, and GoldoaDragon, or the 3 switch-ins I should say. So between those 3, I can either click Blitz if I'm predicting GoldoaDragon, I can click Earthquake if I'm predicting Chandelure, or I can predict CC if I'm predicting Seismitoad. Similarly, I outspeed all 3 of those, so potentially with Chip Off on them, then I can just break them anyway. And the Expert Belt also helps with Avalugg, which although it is weak to 2 of my stabs, it is incredibly physically bulky. So yes, I definitely did prep with Aquarius for this game actually, because I'm remembering a future set that comes up. I think I also had a mock from Stromful, so shout out to those 2. But yeah, in general, this thing, mainly the Expert Belt is there so that we can pick up the one shot on Chandelure that otherwise walls both of my stabs, and which the last time I played him, he did have Chandelure and did bring it, so I could see it coming again. Then, number 3 on the team, we have Warren. This is not so much the sweeper, but if for some reason Salamence can't get the job done, this thing can come in and clean up. It also revenge kills the Zeraora, which I struggle to do. This thing actually only speed ties at max speed Scarf with Zeraora, but that's just how it has to be. I'm willing to take that and gamble on the fact that my opponent probably didn't bother to speed tie with Scarf Diggersby. He probably took some speed out. So with that in mind, I'm pretty certain we can outspeed him. So with Return Earthquake knockoff U-turn, if I can predict the Gligar coming in and get a knockoff off on that, that makes Salamance's job so much easier in the end game. Not to mention, like I say, this thing can just revenge kill the Zeraora super well, which is what I needed. It's the primary job of this thing on the team, so that Zeraora doesn't just tear me apart, especially as I think it'll have Ice Punch and similar things like that. We might even... I don't think we have Intimidate on Salamence. I was going to say, we might even have Intimidate on Salamence. I don't think we do. I'm pretty sure we have Moxie. Then, number 4 on the team, we have Onigawara. First battle for Onigawara this season. The Panda hasn't really been used much, and I wanted to use it because I've discussed in the last week how I was kind of looking at potentially trading Salamence. Definitely Pangoro, Salamence, Cofagrigus, Lycanroc, and a few other things were on the chopping block this week. I was looking at a few things and trying to see what I wanted to trade. So this was kind of the last week for a few things to impress me. So we're giving Panda his chance as the only one of those that hasn't had a chance yet. Pangoro with the Drain Punch, Knockoff, Fire Punch, Bullet Punch literally rips through his whole team. We're running the Scrappy ability because with the Assault Vest and a lot of Spadef investment, we don't have much attack investment in this thing. With a lot of Spadef investment, I can basically click Drain Punch on Chandelure. Because of Scrappy, I will be able to hit the Ghost type with the Drain Punch and get a lot of recovery back. And it means I don't have to go for any crazy predictions. With Bullet Punch on there, if he goes into Gardevoir, that doesn't really matter. I'm either going to knock off his Scarf and then Bullet Punch into him anyway, or I'll just Bullet Punch him to begin with. So it just puts me in a really good spot. This thing really just goes crazy against his team. Weirdly, like the Avalugg is probably the only thing that doesn't get two-shot by it near enough. Everything else gets bopped by this thing. And again, knocking off his main fighting resisting Gligar with this thing would be incredible, getting rid of that Violite. So this set I think could definitely do work. Fire Punch into Mega Scissor is very useful too. It would have been nice to have run Iron Fist for offensive pressure, but I really felt like Scrappy just limited the amount of predictions I had to make with Drain Punch and just made it a lot freer defensively. Because I did need something that could kind of take on the Chandelure that otherwise had quite a good matchup against my team. So then moving into the penultimate Pokemon here, we have a bit more team support in Big Steve, trying to get rocks up here as really the only reliable rocker on the team, and that's something that I'm going to be looking to patch up with trades in future weeks. It's definitely a problem we've come across, but you may notice that says F Cannon, HP Fire, Grass Knot. That is, of course, Flash Cannon. This is a special Metagross. You don't see it very often, but Metagross' special attack at 95 isn't terrible. And the reason for that is that this thing can two-shot Avalugg pretty safely with Flash Cannon, and Avalugg was looking like a bit of a problem for my team otherwise because everything was so physical. So bringing Flash Cannon Metagross just helps me break down that Avalugg that otherwise could kind of wall me, could want to come in on the Stealth Rocks and spin on me. Well, now he can't. Grass Knot is on there for the Seismitoad that also was a little bit of a pain. HP Fire for the Scissor, of course, and Flash Cannon just to chip things down and for stab. So yeah, I feel like this is a pretty good set. I did want Earthquake ideally for like the Chandelure, the Zeraora, but I just couldn't fit it, and realistically I probably don't want to stay on either of those things anyway. So yes, I am walled by both of those. But I think it'll be fine. I think it'll be okay. That's not this thing's job. We have the Sugar Berry on there so that we can take Earth Power from Kieran Black, because this is our primary Kieran Black switching, being able to resist its Ice and Dragon Stab, only being weak to potential Earth Power coverage. With the Sugar Berry, we will be able to take one and Flash Cannon him to put him really low. So I have a fly just flown in the window, which is why I'm looking around me. Yeah, so I think this thing can really put in work as a nice kind of defensive pivot to Kieran, and a nice way of getting rocks up, and perhaps a surprising way of keeping rocks up and breaking Avalugg too. If the Kieran Black for whatever reason doesn't come, then I can potentially burn my Sugar Berry on the Seismitoad, getting off a nice nice Grass Knot. So that's another possibility with this set. It's not limited to just being a Kieran Black pivot. And then in the final spot, we have Storm the Whimsicott coming back. This thing slowly starting to impress me. The more I use it, especially in mocks and stuff, the more I kind of like it. Last week we brought a Pixie Plate offensive set, and it was able to break that Mandibuzz, which was so crucial for us in the end game. Well, this week we have a much more kind of supportive defensive set with Sub, Encore, Leech Seed, Moonblast. With the Prankster, we can basically just get our Leech Seed up on the Scissor, and then we can sub up. If the Mega Scissor switches in as we get our Leech Seed, then we can keep subbing, out prioritizing his Bullet Punch. If he goes for a U-turn, then that's fine too. We can potentially stay in and deal with whatever else he kind of has to pivot back into Scissor, because if you look at the rest of his team, there isn't too many things that particularly likes us, apart from that Snorlax, and that's exactly why we have Encore in here. One, we could Encore the Scizor into Sword Stance if we needed to, or Curse, but more importantly, we could Encore that Snorlax into Curse, or even Belly Drum if it was a set like that, or Recycle. So we can basically just shut down the Snorlax and stop it from being too obnoxious. Yes, our Moonblast does like 20%, if that, like 15%. It does nothing. But that doesn't really matter. It's probably like a 7-hit KO. I don't know. But the point is, we can just Encore him and just stop him from being too obnoxious, and especially stop him from being a setup threat, as Snorlax otherwise could be a little bit scary, because again, most of my team is physical, so a Curse Snorlax would be pretty scary, would be pretty hard to break. So yes, an expert belt close combat from Infernape is going to do a lot, even at +1, but if I can just Encore him into Curse, that saves my time a lot there anyway. So this thing is really, again, like Big Steve, Storm is here to be a defensive pivot this week, to be an obnoxious Pokemon, setting seeds, setting subs, setting Encores, and really just being difficult. It's also our primary Virizion switching, being physically defensive, I believe, if I remember the set being relatively physically defensive. So I can take any hits from Virizion, I can take like a +2 Stone Edge from that thing, and I can always Moonblast it. I outspeed it as well, of course, so unless it's Scarf, I will be able to outspeed it and Moonblast it, and if it is Scarf, it's going to be relatively weak, as Virizion's kind of needs setup to hit that hard, so I'll be able to wall it completely if it's Scarf and just Moonblast it and spread Leech Seed around on the switch out. So yeah, I have a lot of faith in Storm this week to do some good work. A mon that I was unsure about drafting that I've come to kind of love the more I've used it. So that is the team for your Bowland Bovines this week. Hopefully this was a little bit faster than last week. Hopefully you guys enjoy these team builders. If you would like me to go into more detail, or if you would like me to do it even faster, just let me know down below. If you think it's perfect, then, well, we sometimes take those small victories. So regardless, I'll be back with the battle tomorrow for you. It is a really, really good one. We have already played this game, like I said, it was a few weeks ago. It was a really good one, so hopefully you guys will enjoy that. Regardless, thank you so much for loafing around with me, guys, and I'll catch you again next time.